What truly defines a relentless predator? Brute strength, surgical precision, or absolute patience? From the African savanna to the Arctic ice, from the depths of the ocean to the tropical forests, survival depends on a single rule: hunt or die. Today, we'll discover which strategies make these hunters the most efficient on Earth. And before we continue, if this kind of journey through the wild keeps you hooked, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Being relentless doesn't mean winning every time. In nature, it means efficiency. Every hunting attempt demands energy, strategy, and calculated risk. One mistake can mean days without food. Across all the planet's biomes, predators have evolved different solutions to the same challenge, capturing prey while spending as little energy as possible. And this equation begins with reading the environment. Not every predator relies on speed. For many, success lies in invisibility. Remaining still, blending into the surroundings, and striking at the exact moment saves energy and increases capture chances. In the savanna, the forest, or at the water's edge, ambush turns patience into advantage. And when it works, the confrontation lasts only seconds. Some predators increase their chances by working in groups. Coordination, silent communication, and division of roles make the hunt more efficient. In packs and flocks, each individual plays a specific role: surround, isolate, pursue. Cooperation reduces individual risk and expands control over larger prey. When the strategy works, collective strength overcomes any isolated advantage. Not every hunt ends in the first seconds. Some predators rely on an initial burst. Others win through endurance. The choice depends on the environment, the prey, and their own physiology. While speed decides quick ambushes, stamina favors prolonged chases. In nature, energy is currency, and every strategy has a different cost. Not every predator depends on strength or speed. Some win through precision. Small prey require calculated attacks, often aided by venom or strategic bites. In these cases, success lies not in the chase, but in the efficiency of first contact. A single well-executed movement can define the outcome of the hunt. Every hunt involves risk. An injury can compromise weeks of survival. Predators evaluate distance, prey size, and real chances of success before attacking. Spending too much energy without reward can be fatal. In nature, efficiency also means knowing when to give up. And if you're following this journey, subscribe to keep exploring the wild with us. A predator's true advantage lies in adaptation. Fur, vision, hearing, body density, every detail evolved to respond to a specific environment. On ice, in murky water, or in dense forest, the setting defines the strategy. There is no perfect predator. There is only the one best suited to the territory it dominates. And that's where efficiency reveals itself. Not every predator initiates the hunt. Some wait for the right moment to intervene. Opportunists reduce risk by taking advantage of others' mistakes, leftovers, or weakened individuals. This strategy requires less energy and can be just as effective. In nature, efficiency isn't just about capturing. It's about knowing when to act. And often, the one who waits wins. Beneath the surface, the dynamics change completely. Water reduces visibility, alters speed, and demands a different form of body control. Here, silence and hydrodynamics replace footsteps and heavy breathing. Marine predators rely on vertical ambushes, coordinated attacks, or sudden acceleration. In the ocean, physics is an ally or an obstacle. From above, the perspective shifts. Birds of prey detect patterns invisible at ground level. Thermal currents allow them to monitor vast territories with minimal energy use. The attack comes from above, fast, precise, and nearly silent, in mountains, plains, and open forests. Controlling the sky means controlling the moment of impact. And there is rarely a warning. Strength alone rarely guarantees success. Some predators learn, adapt, and adjust tactics based on experience. Orcas modify techniques depending on the prey. Wolves test endurance before attacking. Big cats assess wind direction and vegetation cover. Strategy is energy economy applied with precision, and the larger the prey, the greater the need for calculation. When distance disappears, the real test begins. Large prey don't flee without reacting. Horns, hooves, and body mass can seriously injure a predator. In these confrontations, calculation gives way to immediate decision. The margin for error is minimal. Strength and endurance collide, and only one side keeps enough energy to continue. Some hunts aren't decided by explosion, but by consistency. Endurance predators maintain pressure until the prey makes a mistake or runs out of energy. The chase can last hours, crossing varied terrain. Every step is a physical test. In these cases, victory means lasting longer, not running faster. Some predators don't hunt just anything. They specialize. Skull structure, tooth shape, flight type, or immobilization technique reveal adaptations aimed at specific prey. This specialization can increase efficiency, but also creates dependence. When the environment changes, the strategy must change with it. Not every dispute involves prey. When territories overlap or food is scarce, predators enter direct confrontation. These encounters rarely aim for immediate death. The goal is dominance, intimidation, or expulsion. An injury can compromise weeks of hunting. That's why displays of strength and risk calculation precede any physical contact. Among hunters, every movement is measured. When light disappears, hierarchy shifts. Adapted vision, sharp hearing, and silent movement make night a strategic territory. Many prey rely on sight to detect threats. Nocturnal predators exploit this limitation. In darkness, the advantage belongs to whoever detects first, not to whoever runs faster. The predator isn't always the only threat. The environment itself can be turned into an advantage. Slopes, rivers, unstable ice, or dense vegetation act as natural barriers. Experienced predators guide prey toward these critical points, reducing escape routes. When terrain limits options, capture no longer depends on strength alone. When prey is numerous, strategy must be collective. Schools, herds, and flocks reduce individual risk. To overcome them, predators coordinate movements on a large scale. Surrounding, dividing, and isolating are key steps. In the ocean and on the savanna, efficiency depends on synchronization. One mistake compromises all. But when it works, the result is decisive. Not every hunt ends in success. Calculations fail. The prey reacts at the right moment. The terrain changes. For predators, failure isn't the exception. It's part of the process. Each failed attempt consumes valuable energy. And when repeated, survival is at risk. In nature, learning from mistakes is as vital as attacking. Failure doesn't end the hunt. Experienced predators recalculate. They change the angle, wait for another opportunity, or choose a different target. Persistence doesn't mean blind insistence. It means adaptation. In the survival cycle, a second attempt may be more precise than the first, and as pressure rises, each decision begins to define the outcome. In the Arctic, there's no easy second chance. Energy stored over months must sustain the winter. For the polar bear, capturing a single seal can determine weeks of survival. Here, absolute patience meets a relentless environment. the savanna, mistakes last a second. After hours of approach, lionesses depend on perfect synchronization. The prey is large, strong, and capable of inflicting serious injury. When distance disappears, only precise execution remains. In the open ocean, distance is an illusion. Three-dimensional predators strike from below, above, or in silent lateral motion. The seal depends on the surface to breathe. The shark depends on perfect timing. Here, the impact is invisible until the final second. On the open tundra, there's no hiding. Distances are long and the wind exposes every movement. The pack depends on endurance and positioning. The caribou depends on remaining breath. Now, the decision will be made by exhaustion. Now there is no margin for error. After multiple attempts, each predator enters its most critical phase. Low energy, high risk. The decision must be immediate. And if this intense journey through the wild is holding your attention, like the video and subscribe to follow the next chapters. After constant pressure comes the decisive moment. It's not brute strength, but exact positioning. 1 second defines the outcome. When distance reaches zero, the efficiency built throughout the hunt finally reveals itself. The capture changes everything. Energy is converted into strength, endurance, and future survival. But every success also redefines hierarchies. Within the group, access to food follows clear rules. Even after victory, tension doesn't completely disappear. The capture draws attention. The scent spreads through the wind, travels miles, and summons other opportunists. Even after success, keeping the food requires vigilance. In nature, the conflict rarely ends at the moment of the fall. Even after the capture, exhaustion remains. Injuries, fatigue, and exposure to the environment continue draining energy. Predators live at the constant edge between recovery and vulnerability. Survival doesn't end with victory. It begins again. After the confrontation, the environment slows. The wind dominates the sound again. The sea returns to its steady rhythm. Predators rest, remaining prey reorganize. Nature neither celebrates nor mourns. It simply continues. Being relentless doesn't mean never failing. It means continuing despite failure, adapting, recalculating, resisting the environment and scarcity. In every biome, what defines a great predator is consistency, not perfection. Each capture sustains days. Each failure teaches limits. Predators and prey shape one another across generations. The cycle doesn't favor the strongest, it favors the most adaptable, and it never stops. Environments change, temperatures vary, prey migrate, territories transform. Predators that fail to adjust strategy lose ground. Across generations, those capable of responding quickly to new pressures survive. In nature, adaptation is continuity. Persistence is the invisible trait that unites them all. It's not a single attack that defines a predator, but the disciplined repetition of effort. Days of waiting, miles traveled, failed attempts. Survival means persistence. Relentless isn't the one who always wins. It's the one who keeps trying, adjusting, and enduring. In ice, savanna, or ocean, the rule is the same. Survival demands consistency. If this documentary made you see nature with new eyes, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you're watching from.